So I'm gonna show you what it looks like when a squatter breaks in and steals your kitchen. We're in a house we just finished for one of our clients. The thing has been on the market, listed for sale. Another realtor came to look at it. They told us they weren't able to get in the house and the lockbox was gone. Thought, that's weird. Let's go check out the house. Everything's pretty much done. Blinds are up, floors are in, walls have been painted, come through. Light switches have been changed, new doors, everything looks fine. Bedroom, closets, everything's good. Then we start walking back through the house like, okay, what are we missing? So we walk through here. Oh my God. If you look over here, they ripped our whole kitchen out.
Yes, this actually happened. You probably had a lot of questions, and so did we. Like how? Who did this? What are we gonna do about it? We'll get to all that. But the first step was, we had to call the owner of the house and let them know.
So we called the client and we said, hey, has anyone been in this house? He goes, no, it's just been listed for sale, just agents coming in and out. I'm like, nobody told you your kitchen's missing? He's like, what do you mean? And so I sent him a couple pictures and I'm like, they took your whole kitchen. The only thing they left is the backsplash, which is unfortunate because that's like the cheapest part. So now we'll need to get all new cabinets, new countertop, new uppers. We'll have to repaint it, we'll have to regrout it, all this stuff. So the house was for sale. It was a nice little house, but this is the third kitchen this house is gonna get. When we first got the house, it was not even in our budget to replace the kitchen. We were just gonna paint the cabinets and do a new countertop. Well, as soon as we got here to start the project, the kitchen was demolished. We're like, wow, that's crazy, we tell the owner. So we put a new kitchen in it. Then we come back now, the kitchen's destroyed again. This is the second time. But when we had the cabinets in here, before it was even installed, someone stole those cabinets. So he had the original kitchen we were supposed to save, got demolished. Somebody broke in and demolished it. We ordered cabinets, had them delivered here. The day they got here, they were stolen. We ordered another set of cabinets, put the third kitchen in. It was fine, we listed it for sale. Now someone came in and stole his kitchen again. It almost feels personal. I don't know, the guy's out of state. I can't imagine he knows anyone here. But now we're on our fourth kitchen for this flip house. And it feels more personal because someone left a dead animal behind. You know, I don't want to say too much graphic, but like, there's a dead animal sitting in the kitchen. It hasn't decomposed or anything, so it's not like it's been stuck here for a long time. It feels personal.
Okay, so who's doing all this? Well, as we looked around the house a bit more, it became pretty clear that there was a lot more going on here than we originally thought.
Somebody left their socks here. Somebody's got a washcloth or a wash rag, whatever you want to call it, down on the steps. There's a few more clothes down in the laundry tub down there. When we were finishing rehabbing the house, none of this was here. So somebody was in here since then, leaving clothes behind. Now, as weird as this sounds, somebody's had soap here. So somebody was in here taking a bath. There's soap in the bath. You can see down on the drain. You look at the sink. Somebody was clearly washing up because it's filthy. We didn't do that. We don't leave soap in our properties. The next thing you'll notice, there's footprints on the floor in here, and that is an air mattress. Somebody was likely living in here. Actually, if we go back to the kitchen, I'll show you one more thing. The house is clean. We have them professionally cleaned when we finished the project. Somebody left a 2-liter here. So not only were they showering, sleeping, and doing laundry, but they were eating and drinking here. So somebody was definitely squatting. Thankfully, we're not the real estate agent on this deal, so we're not selling this property. It wasn't our job to look after it. I'll show you something else too. If you look here, somebody tried to kick the door in. The trim won't let the door shut, so they broke the trim. Thankfully, it's pretty solid. Nobody was able to kick it in because we've got these on here to reinforce them with an I just cut myself. With an extra little locking mechanism here. Can't believe that cut me. This is bullshit. Same thing on the back door. This was all ripped off the wall. This is, you can obviously tell, just dented and smashed and broken. The trim here, top and bottom, and the piece is missing. This, they punched through and hit the thing from this side to open this. Not that this is gonna stop anyone, but it's just another broken thing. They broke the closer trying to get in. Unfortunately for the owner, they finally got in.
After something like this happens, it's not a quick and easy solution. There's a lot more to it than you might think, and the amount of time everything takes is crazy. Everything you've watched so far was filmed almost 3 months ago, and we still haven't even been given the go-ahead to install the new kitchen. So what are we waiting on?
We've got the insurance paperwork here. This is basically what the insurance company is saying that they're going to cover in the situation. So typically what happens is you will make a claim to your insurance company. They will have somebody come out and assess the damage, make sure it's a legitimate claim, all that. So we had one of our people go out there and meet with the insurance adjuster. They looked through the house, checked the damages, took photos, all that. They generate a report. You can see here, it actually took him exactly a month to turn around this report. When you send something to an insurance company, it's not a quick turnaround time. It took them a full month just to get out there and look at the house. So then once they look at the house, they assess the damage. And as you go through here, you'll see they've got the rear foyer where the door was kicked in. So they had to assess the damage of the door being kicked in. In the kitchen, they had to assess the fact that none of the cabinets are in there. Nothing in the kitchen. No granite, no cabinets, no sink, none of that. When they go through all this stuff, they attribute a value to it. So they're putting a price to it based on area and industry standard of a kitchen cabinet usually cost X, a sink usually cost X, this is how many are missing, yada yada. They generate their whole report. So there's a couple other small things in here, paint touch up, hauling away the debris if you were to put in a new kitchen, some trim work, some small stuff like that, new handles, new locks, new door. You'll see here they come up with a total number. So then they're going to take that total number and they're going to do their subtractions. So the original number that they started with, they have a replacement value of $4,234. They have a cash value of $4,198. So if you look, the insurance company has already subtracted some money. Now what they're going to do is they're going to add depreciation onto that. Now keep in mind, this house was finished for about a week and then the theft or break-in happened and then the insurance company got involved and it took another month. The insurance company depreciated money off that. The house was just finished. Nobody had moved in. Nobody had lived there. It had just gotten on the market and the insurance company is already depreciating that asset, which is insane to me. So they basically agreed to pay for 95% of the cost of the kitchen because they argue that 5% of it was a natural depreciation despite it just finished a week ago and nobody had ever used any of it. Kind of crazy to me, but it's based on fiscal periods and stuff, I get it. So what the insurance company said to our owner was, I'm gonna go ahead and give you 95% of the cost of the kitchen. So that means that if the kitchen costs, I believe this kitchen was a cheaper one, it cost $4,300. So then they ended up paying him $4,000. So, you know, $300 isn't a big deal, but it's still a cost he's gonna have to pay on top of his insurance premium. So they're gonna kick him back $4,000, give or take. He's gonna send us $4,000 plus the $300 difference, $4,300, and then we're gonna go ahead and put the kitchen back in for him. So at this point, Connor can put dates on the cameras or on the video, but you guys will see how long this process was. So just to save the $2,000-$3,000, it's taken us a couple months to get to this point, and we haven't even put the kitchen back in yet. So this has been approved by the insurance company. We as the contractor agreed to work for these numbers to put in this standard kitchen again for him. Once the money gets to us, we'll put the kitchen in and then we'll show evidence we put the kitchen in, yada yada yada. And that pretty much wraps it up. It's a shame because it was only done for a week and he's gonna have to spend another $5,000 to get this thing put back together. Insurance company's not gonna cover all of it even though it was only finished for a week. That's insurance is a scam. We're gonna get the work done again. This will now be the 4th kitchen we've had to put in this house. Everyone will be happy. Hopefully we'll get it back on the market and get it sold before someone breaks in again and steals his kitchen again.
Overall, I think it's still a good investment. It's unfortunate that it took this long and it went down this path, but purely on a numbers standpoint, it's still a pretty good investment and he'll still see a pretty good return despite the extra time and cost.
Investing in the area can be pretty tricky. It can be pretty interesting.
Go.